right. Welcome to Leafs Talk After Dark, way after dark. It's now 1:17 Eastern time. Welcome my good friend Ailish Forfar of fan pregame fame, of all sorts of different kinds of fame. Really got the short end of the stick here, buddy. I don't know why you agreed
I
to
really
this.
did.
This is a pre-Christmas agree where you're like, yeah, no problem. That's January Ailish's problem. And now that time has arrived and you're up at 1:15 talking about the Leafs with me. But I'm kind of glad I stayed up, because I would say that after some really underwhelming performances against some bad teams here in the last little bit, I guess Carolina's not a bad team on Saturday, but, against Columbus and Ottawa and the 9-3 against Buffalo before the break, a really good performance against one of the better teams in the league. I might say this is their best performance of the year. A really nice reason to stay up late.
Honestly, I don't know what I expected, because it's a road game. It's 10:30 for us. It's like, they just got there. It's a next gen game. So obviously,
Yes.
they're cursed with those jerseys, and no next gen kids should be up watching this anyway.
Yeah.
So it was a weird one. But that was one of their most solid performances, like from start to finish. Martin Jones, of course, we'll get into that.
Yeah.
Like just shutting it down. It was the way that you wish they played in front of other goaltenders, maybe to inspire some confidence, but they were hard on pucks. They just won puck battles. It was pretty clean, obviously, like with a 3-0 score, couldn't be more clean than that. But I was really impressed with the Leafs. And sometimes when you go on a West Coast trip, remember last year when we thought Sheldon Keefe was going to get fired?
Yes.
It was a nice refresher that things can be nice on the West Coast, and it's worth staying up till 1:20 in the morning.
Yeah. I think that's my first note that I wrote down here, is that I just love how hard they played. I don't really remember a game this year where, they can respond to teams when they're playing a little bit chippy, and they can get into that mode. They can go there, this team, but I don't think it's really their preference. And tonight it really seemed like they initiated it. Like they were really, really just hard on sticks in front of the net, on top of guys. Like, anytime anyone went near the front of the net, they were jumping all over them. Like I sent a couple texts, got a couple, group chats going over here. I'm a group chat Gary. I got about 65 going on, and a lot of people were up, which is nice. People love the Leafs, I guess, but that's what I kept saying. Who are these guys? What's gotten into these guys? It just seemed like they were really, really, I don't know, into this game. I guess maybe they saw it as a measuring stick game, playing against one of the better teams in the league in the Western Conference. But yeah, they played a lot grittier, for lack of a better term, than I can remember them playing this year. It was a really hard-nosed performance from the Leafs, which is something we don't often say.
I mean, I feel like it was needed, because those last couple of games, as you mentioned, you're getting blown out or losing to opponents that you really shouldn't. And they just felt like a lackluster effort. So this is maybe the way the Maple Leafs should play, always against great teams, right? The Kings are a really good, as you said, measuring stick opponent. Well, the Leafs are going to play two teams tomorrow and Saturday that are not. So it's like, can you continue to play this physical style? Like if we're watching on the YouTube stream, like Benny the Butcher, that's what you guys call him, right? I love this guy. He and everyone's on Twitter now saying like you should re-sign him. 100%. Like what a diamond in the rough they found with him. He just and he is a tough guy, getting in there, grabbing. He's fearless. You saw his handle cut open. I was like, maybe we didn't need to go that far. But yeah, I just think that they elevated to a level. Like the Kings are big physical guys, and they performed like the Leafs were also big physical guys, which sometimes is not the way that we perceive them. So it was really nice to see.
It's true. And, you mentioned the re-sign Benny the Butcher campaign, which is something I didn't expect to pop up on my Twitter feed at 1:20 a.m. But I think this offseason is going to be a weird one to look back on, because like the big ticket items, I guess Klingberg, who is now on the beach on Robidaw Island, Reeves got hurt. He hasn't been hurt from much. He was underwhelming to start the year. Bertuzzi was good tonight. He's kind of been a little bit underwhelming. Domi. But then the under the radar ones that Treliving had are actually the ones that have like saved them. Like look at what they've gotten from Martin Jones, which we'll get into here. But like Martin Jones, Lagesson, Benoit, even, Gregor on the fourth line, who's been a really nice find for them. I'm just, it's a tale of two types of off seasons where your big ticket items are kind of like not been really, now they haven't delivered as much as you'd want them to, but then the guys that you sign for nothing have been really important to you. So it's been a good one for him. And yeah, I guess like we can do, it's just classic Leaf fans. Like Benny the Butcher, Benoit is just like the vintage guy that Leaf fans love. He wears number 2, like kind of reminds people of what Luke Shen does.
Yes.
He's throwing his weight around. He's getting into scrums. He's a terrible fighter, but he fights. Like he cares. It's really not hard to please us as Leaf fans. Like it really isn't. We're a very simple bunch. And yeah, here's him fighting a guy that he shouldn't be fighting. Like he gets worked pretty good, but he stands in there. Like that the other night against Fantilli, where he's chirping Fantilli, and then one of the biggest, meanest men in the league jumps over the boards in Gabranson, and he fights him too. He tries to BX a Superman punch him. Like, I like this guy. I like him. I have to admit to you that I am classic, Johnny in Etobicoke here. I like this guy a lot, and I would like him to be here beyond this year.
Yeah, a lot of credit to Trey Living, as you said, because we thought coming into this season that the goaltending duo was going to be strong. It was going to be Joseph Woll and Ilya Samsonov, who were both great. Well, that's an interesting predicament we're in now. Yeah. But you look at the decor was kind of like the main focus, right? Oh, it's going to be weak. It's going to be weak. And these tiny pieces, honestly, have saved them, like treading water for a while. If they didn't have some of these like sleeper guys that have come up and actually perform well for the Leafs, they'd be in a completely different situation. But I think, Benny the Butcher, he's the talk of Twitter tonight. But obviously Bertuzzi, the other one, right? Like what a slow start to his Leafs tenure. And I remember having conversations on our show and like hearing other people discuss, like maybe he just doesn't like the market. Like maybe it's too much. I'm like, okay, look at him now. Like he's become this Northern Ontario gritty grease ball who tonight was like textbook. That's what you want from Bertuzzi, right? I know you have some clips of his gear, which we'll get into, but he's just mucking it up and he just gives. And when you mentioned like them playing a physical and hard game, that stems from him on the offensive end. Like that was him driving that. Him and Benny the Butcher like brought that level of intensity that the Leafs like elevated to. But everything he does out there, like this assist, like this tiny little touch, the one without a glove on. He's trying to figure out, like, should he go to the bench? Should he not? And yeah, I just love the style that he plays. Maybe not his aesthetic style, but his actual style. Like that's Sudbury, baby.
I gotta tell you, me laughing at memes of him or like tweets of him and like texts of him with no glove on got me through the second period. Like it woke me up. Good. It was just, I don't know what it is about this guy, but he's just addicted to grease. Like he just has to look the weirdest possible at all times. And my boy Cam, Carl P. Lash on Twitter, Borny shouted him out during the second intermission. My boy Cam went to school together in Nova Scotia. He tweeted out that
with the jeans,
he would wear jeans over his shin pads if he could. Like, what is the greasiest thing he would wear if he was allowed? Like, I honestly think that he might go. Remember those like the look where you would wear like the cut sweatpants as socks?
Yes,
that was like a popular look. Like I remember a lot of people did that up in the Sound. Feel like that might be a look. I feel like he might even go full Cooperall if he could. Like him with no glove on, playing the puck, and then it's Scary Movie 2. It's Take My Strong Hand. It looks so funny to me. So kudos to this guy. And like on a more serious note, the thing that I've noticed about him, and like I feel like I'm learning more things about his games. Yeah, put it in the Louvre. It's a great picture. All the guys are looking at him. They just think he's greasy, but like his playmaking is something I wasn't really aware of. I thought of him more as like a gritty, kind of hard-nosed goal scoring guy, but like his ability to find guys in the right spots, like he's got no glove on, complete chaos, and he just like no look, puts it right on Yarncroft's stick in front of the net. So a good night for Bertuzzi. And I gotta ask, can you pull up the picture of the stick tape for me,
so good.
Jobo? So I guess you're watching on YouTube or Sportsnet Plus. The question marks are fitting. So I sent a tweet being like, what is this? Because my theory is that he doesn't like tape on the top of his stick, which is a insane person. Like you need to, I don't know how you would play hockey without tape on the top, but is it that like he's afraid of his finger getting stuck down in there? Like, what is that? Like, there's gotta be a reason behind that. Someone said that you have to have tape on the top. like the league says you have to have tape.
But
Like
the league is checking everybody's knobs.
Yeah.
Like they got better things to do.
Anyways, they're checking. It's like, this is really getting into Leafs talk after dark here. We're going blue. But I just, that stick tape to me, it's like, is he got a pet snake in there that he's trying to keep in? Like,
I think I need to pull up your tweet because I want to give credit, but I thought I saw somebody saying that like he's got cigarettes in there that he doesn't want to slide out. And I laughed so hard at that because that's the only thing he's missing is like a dart while he's ripping around on the ice, because that is like the essence of Tyler Bertuzzi. But
somebody said a vape pen was hiding in
there
too.
Yeah, that's so good. It's hilarious. But no, I honestly, whoever's there, if it's like Sean McKenzie, somebody's got to be down there to ask after the game, like, what is going on? Here he is putting it on there. Like, it's just got to be a bit at this point. Yeah. There's no, I don't know, there's no need for that, but I kind of love it. Maybe that'll help me, set some people up and score some goals in my beer league. I'm going to try it out.
No way. There's no way I'm stepping onto a beer league ice with that. And his eyes, he just looks like he had an edible before the game. He's a wild guy. Like, he is complete chaos at all times. And I really do like the take I've been going with a lot on this show and on Kipper and Bourne is that I think it's under his numbers in the regular season are going to be underwhelming, but then like once the playoff starts, he's just going to be a different animal and everybody's going to like fall so deeply in love with Tyler Bertuzzi. I already feel it because you saw what he did last year with the Bruins, where he was like their best player in that first round series, even though they got put out obviously. But I do feel like he's going to be a playoff type guy that really kind of, elevates and people are going to fall in love.
Snot, right? That's the difference between, I know regular season, like it's like Wednesday, January 3rd at 1:30. It's hard to replicate what that's going to be like when it comes playoffs, but that's kind of the guy you want getting gritty in the corner, right? And he's the guy that can draw a penalty, maybe like what Kadri used to do, but maybe not cross the line, right? Like he could push that button. He's like got a Kachuk in him, right? But that's the hardest thing to play against, right? Is a guy that you just hate, but he does it in a way that you're like, I got to respect it, right? But maybe you don't respect the one thing on the tape on the knob. But I think I'm excited to see what he does. But like, he's getting better with each time that we watch him. That's kind of what you want. Slow start is like, you can draw your conclusions after 2 weeks, and some people did, but he's like shut out the noise and he's played incredibly well. Like that line was popping tonight. Other than the first 5 minutes, I think I texted you where I think Matthews put the puck on net like 40 times, and I was like, okay, he's going to score 10 tonight. That was the start for the Maple Leafs, was Matthews, and then it kind of quieted out, and like it was, Nylander's got his 50th point tonight, like already. Yeah. You guys are on Kipper and Bourne putting out viral clips. Boy. Kipper is trending worldwide because he mentioned that, Willie's contract, he's got numbers and he's saying, 8, 11, 25 and so lots of attention on Willie Nylander, and he got 50 points tonight. So I think, he saw the tweets
for sure. He's definitely watching real Kipper and Bourne from his, his Louis Vuitton couch. So I guess we'll go to Martin Jones now, who I thought, I just have said this a lot of times, but I respect the guy. I'm so impressed by the guy. Like this guy came here as the third goalie, clears waivers, obviously at the start of the year, starts the year with the Marlies, and has come up here and he's just been a pro. Like, I think tonight was a pretty quiet first half of the game for him. Like, they at least really played a good defensive game pretty much for the whole thing. Couple power plays where they got a lot of chances, specifically the power play at the end of the second where he made 5 or 6 really good saves.
There were 6 shots in that power play, and I was like,
he made
huge saves.
And that's something the Leafs, it kills the Leafs giving up goals at the end of periods. And I felt like that was going to happen there, and it's just going to change the game totally. And like, I don't know, and I don't think that Jones is a long-term solution for this team, but I give the guy full credit for coming up here and just being a pro. Like, you can see
100%.
why he's gotten so many, like even with the Kraken last year, I think he ended up with 27 wins and his numbers aren't very good, but like, you can see why the coach of whoever team he's on just keeps playing him, because he just looks calm and steady. Like,
he's the opposite of Ilya Samsonov.
Exactly.
Like, you watch him and you feel a level of comfort, a level of professionalism. Like, he gets it. He's not getting shaken by the moment. He could stand tall in that little spurt of time, that 2-minute power play at the end of the second. No, I'm not going to like say Ilya Samsonov would have let in a goal, but like
You could
the
say
level, yeah, okay, he would have. The level of composure that you saw from Martin Jones is why he's played so many NHL games, why he was a perfect guy to like slide through waivers and have as a backup option, which looks so incredibly smart at this point, because now he might be a guy that shoulders the load for the next month, maybe month and a half at this point.
Yeah.
And I guess I wanted to ask you about tomorrow because, you know, that's a back-to-back. Obviously, Hilda Beast is up on the road trip. There's so much anticipation. It's like, is he going to start tomorrow or not? They also have Saturday's game against San Jose, which is Martin Jones's old team. So like, if I'm the coach, I'm putting Hilda in tomorrow night, even though like Martin Jones didn't have to face like the heaviest workload tonight. He got a shutout against his former team as well. And like, I think it's his 30th career shutout. I want to see this Hilda guy in action. I know the Ducks aren't like the hottest team in the world, but I think it's a perfect landing spot for him because back-to-back with Jones, and then what, you're going to obviously put Jones in, I would assume, on Hockey Night in Canada against his former team.
For
So
sure.
is that 3 in a row? I think it's Hilda tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know, Ailish.
What's your hesitation, Sam?
I just, he's such a young guy, and to me, Jones is like, you're probably right. But like
Joseph Wall was a young guy.
Did you hear what Keefe said about Hilda today? He's like, yeah, you know, he's first Austin Matthews came down, blew one by him, so he got a good idea of it's like,
oh, well, great, thanks.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of a rude thing to say, first of all. But
he's probably just trying to lower expectations because we're all looking at his AHL numbers and he's the Hilda Beast and he's like, you know, maybe people are thinking he's going to come in and get a shutout, but I think he can't be worse than Ilya Samsonov. I don't think you're going to shake this guy's confidence in one NHL start. And if you do, like maybe we have to have deeper discussions about getting your confidence shaken in one start. And I think like there's just so much that we don't know yet about his short professional career that just throw him in there. I'm ready for it. I want the Beast tomorrow night because we're on Leafs Talk again tomorrow night. Yeah. So I need to be able to update my thoughts on Hilda Beast tomorrow night.
So here's what I'm thinking about it, because I think Hilda is like a Leafs prospect, right? And the fan in me is like, you gotta see him in there. You gotta see him in there. Like I'm the guy who talks about the Leafs for 5 hours a day, every single day. It's like, give me a new
storyline,
a little piece of content, a little piece of meat, something to gnaw on, because this, you know, it's the monotony of a regular season. But like, I think you have to think of it more of like an emergency call up as opposed to like the future goalie coming in here to like start to get hot. Like, I think last year when Murray was hurt, Samsonov played back-to-back when they had Keith Petruzzelli as the starting goalie.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And I mean, I remember that. I don't remember my email password, but like, I think he played 2 in a row. I couldn't tell you who it was against.
Yeah.
If I was a betting man, I bet you they go back to Jones tomorrow. I think I would love to see Hilda. Kipper agrees with you. He's like, put him in. You gotta see what you get.
Yeah, well,
like,
obviously, then I'm right.
Yeah. So Kipper, like, you're probably gonna end up you're gonna get to see him. But if I was Sheldon Keefe, I would probably go back to Jones, just because he was good tonight. He got a shutout.
Yeah.
You play tomorrow night in Anaheim, and then you have 3 full days off before you go to San Jose. It's not like you're flying cross country for a back-to-back. It's a bus trip. I want to see the Hilda Beast as much as anyone, but like, the Leafs are in a position here where you're playing soft opponents, and this next, like, getting this win tonight was huge to start this road trip off, beating a really quality team in their building. Like, you have a chance here to bank 8 points. You're playing the crappy Ducks, and then you're playing Sharks, and then Sharks again.
Yeah, but they don't play well against bad teams. Yeah, well, that's the scary thing.
Well, Ailish, you know, you're onto something with that one. That's a theory that I just, you know, has been one of the core takes of my entire being of this era of Leafs fandom, and I just threw it out the window. So you're right. You're right about that. But like, I do feel like you want to go, you know, throw them in there and get a chance. But I do think you want to have your best quality in there. But I guess that's why they make the big bucks and we make the medium bucks. I really have no idea what they're going to do. But if I was a coach, I'd go back to Jones. I would.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing is you kind of have, for the first time ever, seems like 2 options that you're comfortable with, like trying a new goaltender who's never played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, or Martin Jones, who was your third stringer that you had as an AHL level goalie. Like, that is the weirdest sentence to say. I don't think anyone
both are better options than Samsonov.
And that's it. Insane. Like, I don't think that if you had said on January 3rd, predictions that these two goalies would be the ones that you're considering putting in net, I think we'd all be like, what happened? But that's kind of the way that the season has gone. And so, I see the validity in both. Good thing we don't have to make the decision. We'll just update you after the game tomorrow.
So a couple quick notes I had here. I like the fourth line tonight, and I don't know what they ended up playing. I'm always quickly scrolling for ice times here.
That's Jobo's job.
Yeah, I know. So
what's he even do, eh? You just press his buttons on the show.
McMahon played 12. Gregor played 12. Camp played 14-30. So I thought that they had it, like, Camp specifically.
Because he got the healthy scratch, right?
It worked.
Yeah.
It's the hardest he's played in like a month.
I didn't think he needed like a wake up call. Like, he's kind of like a guy that you expect the same level out of most nights, but sometimes, you make the right decision. It looked like he kind of got shot out of a cannon a little bit more because of that. And that's a good decision by Sheldon Keefe then.
And Bobby McMahon, to me, there's a chance for him to play in the league as a fourth line guy for like 5-6 more seasons if he just uses his body, because he's a huge guy. You saw him doing it tonight where he like gets in on the forecheck and he leans on guys. And it's like, he's never going to be a top 6 guy. He's a 27-year-old guy that's come up late here, but I really do think he has the tools to be a guy that can play in your bottom 6 for multiple years. Like, I like the size. I like him being a little bit grit. Like, if he can find a way, not to fight or whatever, but he had 4 hits tonight, but just to continue doing that, I think he's going to earn the trust. And I liked him again tonight. So I thought it was a good fourth line night. And an old Nicky Robertson didn't end up playing too much tonight. It was a bit of a big boy game for him, I thought. I think he ended up playing 839, lowest of any Leaf player. So that's a story for another day, but they might have to find another solution for our boy Nick. It just feels like it's not going in the right direction for him, but we don't need to spend time on that after the Leafs beat the Kings 3-0. Do you have anything else on this game? Because I wanted to pivot to something else with you.
Do you like the silver buckets?
I do. I love them. I would never wear one, obviously. Like, it's not like a statement that you can wear one in ASHL. It's not something that's going to happen. But, for the LA Kings with those jerseys, with those gloves, and I just think it looks awesome. I think they look really good. And I thought the jersey matchup tonight, because the Leafs
I was curious what you thought about that, the black and white.
Lose in those jerseys. So that sucks. But my mom loves those jerseys. So
then that's all that matters.
She's like, oh, they look tough. They look tough in these jerseys. So I always have a soft spot for those Leafs.
Honestly, Willie looks like a villain,
yes,
like a Swedish villain in that black jersey. And he gets a level of, like, I don't know. It's like, it's something about the black. He just pops more.
Yeah,
he looks menacing
really good.
in it.
He does.
Yeah, he looks really good in it. He looks great.
The chain is popping recently. Is that new chain? Like, it's coming out. It's coming out a lot, the chain.
He's just got an air about him right now. Everything's working.
He does. So, no, I like the silver buckets. I just think that logo and those colors, I think that should be their normal jersey. And then they just switch in like a black helmet once in a while. I love the silver. I don't think it's really a popular take by any stretch. Like, I like the gold buckets too. There's just enough black and blue in the league. Why not? You don't like it?
No, I really don't like it at all. Wow. I'm just respecting your opinion and
traditionalist Ailish. I like the color black. I like the color white.
I do.
Like red, blue. Those are the hockey colors.
I like the primary colors and the main shades, and that is all. Don't venture off of any of the non-main shades and primary colors. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm going to call you. That's your new nickname. Ailish main shades.
That's very, very black and white.
All right. Hey, I had a couple quick PWHL takes for you. Are you ready?
PWHL talk after dark.
So, really happy. I just, I really want this to work because we've seen all these different leagues that have just kind of been twisted in the wind. And this one really does feel different, which is incredible. But the main thing for me is the contact, Ailish, and the physicality through first 2 games where I've always thought it was stupid that there was no contact in women's hockey. I guess I get it at like the Olympic level where like the American and women, the Canadian women are like way bigger and faster and stronger than a lot of the women that they're playing against. So I guess I understand that aspect of it. But at this, where it's like all the best players, like the contact, there's some bigger hits in this game. Like in the today, between Ottawa and Montreal, there's a couple massive hits. Toronto and New York yesterday, there's some big hits, and they're just plowing through. No one's diving. They're getting back up. They're playing hard. Like I was really impressed about the physicality. That's the first thing that jumped out to me. So I texted resident women's hockey expert Christina Rutherford, wonderful writer for Sportsnet.ca, who has a great piece up about the first game. And she says it's allowed. Like, it's like, because I was like, oh, they're hitting? And it's now allowed, which to me is a huge thing for the PWHL. I really do. And I don't know if that's a stupid take or not, but I think it matters huge.
I mean, like, there's been 2 games so far, and I've had more people message me about women's hockey than ever in my life. And
love that.
Like, people that don't know, I used to play, and I played in the CWHL, so that was the only pro league I got an opportunity to play in, and obviously it was much different. This has been like kind of a shift in, I guess, their approach. Like, the girls are physical. They're strong. Like, these girls are jacked, and the pace is so fast. So when you do see contact, it's like, it's jarring and you're not used to it. Like, there's not open ice, mid ice. Like, you're not getting, destroyed. But around the boards, around the net, the contact is honestly more than I have ever played. NCAA, professional. When I played for Team Canada, none of this ever happened. So watching it happen is awesome. Like, it's just changed like the dynamic of the game. It's changed the interest level. Not that you needed like any of that really to like bring people in, but it just does change. The people that are like, women's hockey's not physical. Well, it is. These girls are laying each other out, and there's all this like built up, I don't know if it's like angst or
they haven't played in a while,
aggression, but they just are rocking each other and they just want to make an impact right away. It's been so awesome to watch. But yeah, the physicality has never been like this before, and I think it's awesome to watch.
And I love tonight, your girl Laura Stacey scores a goal for Montreal. Yeah. And then hugs her fiance behind the net.
So cool.
I'm like, oh, that is incredible. Like, I was
that's the dream duo.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So I know you have a very good relationship with Laura, but that was awesome. So I'm
honestly, if anybody gets a chance to go, and I know like tickets are crazy. If you're in the Toronto market, like, good luck. But if
no chance or what? Because I want to go on the 13th, 1:00.
Okay, buddy. So I luckily got season tickets. Like, I bought them, and I had to be on a wait list and do a deposit, and they only released them. Like, you had to be on your computer right away. Wow. And so every single home game is sold out. You cannot buy tickets anymore. So you have the resale market, or you've got to get a good friend that might help you out. And like, we'll have to discuss.
I might have to.
Maybe I can get it. If you can get Kipper to take me to like the alumni NHL box one day, then maybe I'll give you a set of tickets to a PWHL game.
Well, but the problem is I have this reputation now, Ailish, amongst my family, my friends, like Mr. Shameless. Like, the own sound of pack. They're giving me.
I saw you there. You're just hilarious. Like, you're like their mascot now.
My home course, Legacy Ridge. There was a wrapped Christmas gift under my tree at home from them. Amazing. Sweaters, hats. Like,
I know some. I can make it happen, Sam.
I love it.
You just gotta, get a little Kipper and Born promo for them. I'm sure we can finesse something. But you got to see it up close and personal. It's pretty awesome. I'm really proud of everybody too for getting it to this point.
Because I went to the last Toronto 6 game where they played against the Connecticut Whale before they went and won the cup, and it was like so physical and fat, and I was like, the physicality is key. That's what makes hockey hockey. And that makes everybody mad at each other, and that's good. You want people mad at each other. So anyways, those are my PWHL takes through 2 games, and I wanted to share them with you. So
PWHL talk. I love it.
Okay, good. All right, thanks, Ailish, time for bed. This has been Leafs Talk. Thanks very much. If anyone watched, we might have just been having a personal conversation.
If you're up right now, you're a sicko, and we appreciate it. So as JD Bunkus would say, smash the like button, 5 stars, retweet. Does a lot for us. Follow us, Sam McKee on Twitter, JD Bunkus, like, smash it, 5 stars.
At Ailish Forfar on Twitter. I think it's the same on Instagram. You already have millions of followers. I don't need to tell them that. So absolute pleasure tonight, Ailish. I'll see you tomorrow at the office. And thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.